Boom. Here we go. All right. Laura, you want to kick this one off too?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone. Hello again, if you were on the customer call. If you might be watching the recording on this, hello. So we're excited to bring this to you guys. This is something that we haven't done before, but Britt and I chat a lot, and I was saying on the last call, so this might be a repeat to some of you, is as entrepreneurs, as business ownership, your wheels are always turning. You're always trying to innovate, make things better, change, pivot. Like, it would be naive to think we do something the same forever and it would work, right? Just like in our businesses or personal lives. So we are chatting about how we can help provide people with mentorship and help focused on either building a customer base or building a team. Because I think whether you're new or whether you've been in this business for a hot minute, sometimes when you're trying to do both, you end up not really having a focus, and it's harder to grow on both sides. So we thought, hey, let's try to create two specific groups focused on both sides of our comp plan. And, Brittany had mentioned, if you're focusing on customer, you're always going to offer the business as a dessert. But if you're offering the business, you can also fall back on products. So there will be a little bit of overlap, but you're going to want to strategize your content. You're going to want to strategize your time blocking, your time on social media, your conversations, the trainings, everything that you're doing, you're going to want to focus on something. So this isn't going to be something where you can decide to be in both. You're going to pick one focus group. So you're either going to say, I'm really focusing on building my team. And we're sort of running this as a soft launch, but it'll officially take off April 1st. And we're going to make some serious big moves, big waves in April, right? And we're going to be leading up to it now. And Britt will talk a little bit more about what you can expect specifically, but I wanted to say that I think everybody needs this. If you're wanting to build your business, business is like roller coaster. We know that, you ride with the waves. And I posted in our group chats today, momentum and excitement breeds that. If you're in a funk, you're going to keep breeding that. So let's get everybody outside of that. For me, I know personally, if I'm not intentional with my time, if I am not constantly in a state of, I want to say production, I can't remember what I said on the last call, but that is my personality, is I like to be busy. And as soon as I stop, I can feel myself okay, now what? Whereas if I keep in motion, it really helps. And so sometimes you just need somebody to be pushing the car, giving it a little bit of momentum so that you can go. So we're going to help, with a variety of things, but we'll talk about incentives and content strategy and very specific trainings, but we will be getting on a call like this every single Monday. They'll be short, 20 to 30 minutes. And it's going to be very collaborative. So you'll be able to ask questions, talk about what's working, what's not working. We're going to facilitate and lead, but we want you guys showing up and doing the majority of the talking in them. They'll sort of be recaps from the week, and then we'll give you guys specific things to work on throughout. But yeah, I'll hand it off to you, Britt, so you can give some more detail there, but I'm excited.
I'm so excited. I think this is going to be really great. And especially the weekly calls. I'm excited to go back into that. I don't know. I just love our community so much, and I've missed it. So, but I think also having it be very specific to what we're doing in our businesses is going to be really helpful as well. And the collaborative side of things, right? We're going to be here to facilitate it, to give your car a start, right? But you guys are the ones driving the vehicle. And I'm excited to hear what's working for you, what tips and tricks you guys are finding are effective. And, but as far as the group itself goes, we want to help you grow. When I first came here, I had no idea what I was saying, as far as selling the business, sharing the business, how to talk about the business in a way that came from a place where it was benefiting them to join the business and not me, where it wasn't sounding salesy or cringy. Right. And so if you feel stuck, we're going to be here to say, share some screenshots, What are you saying? How are your conversations going? Like, we're here to help y'all as far as the recruiting aspect goes, right? Laura and I would say, are both definitely recruiters. We love talking to new people. We love adding people to our funnel, creating relationships, and growing their businesses when they join our business, right? And that's what we want to help everybody here do. But before you get to the recruiting phase, content is really important. Attraction marketing is really important. And those are things that we're going to talk about in this group as well. We're going to talk about different social media platforms and how you talk on different social media platforms based on the audiences that are there. Income producing activities are going to be something that we're going to talk a lot about. Not really wasting time on things that aren't putting you in front of people, right? But actually, like, things like your funnel, your content, checking in with your customers and things like that, right? Those are the things that we want to help you with. And we'll dive deeper into that as it goes on. Like Laura was saying, I think it was on this call, it's going to be like a soft launch the next couple of weeks. And then when we go into April, we're really going to have like that push of accountability.
And we'll provide you guys with, like, we're going to talk about content planning, talk about some of that. Like you were saying, we're going to have some, we don't know exact incentives, so we don't want to say anything, but we are working on some incentives for you guys that will actually be, help you in your businesses, in order to grow a team. This isn't like I was saying in the customer one, this isn't going to be so much of a hardcore one as March Madness is. We're not here to knock on your door every morning to make sure you're going to show up to work. It's more so of, we're going to provide you with everything that you need, all the tools, but you're going to actually need to do it.
It's up to you.
Yes. And at the end of April, you're going to be able to sit back and really reflect on what served you, what didn't serve you, and also be realistic with, how much did you income producing activities did you do versus busy work? Busy work or keeping busy is, like Brittany said, things that aren't in conversation with people, or something like content, attraction marketing content. But busy work, I think a lot of us get caught up on that, and we're like, we're working, but it's like, but you're not doing the things that are actually going to get the dollars in your bank account. So, we're going to be very honest and real about that. And I was saying on the last call, which again, I'll say here, is the number one thing I want you guys to think about right now and really think is, do you truly believe that you can be successful in this business building a team? If your answer is yes, that is basically the number one thing that you need to be able to be successful. That is where it starts. If you said no, then you really should be focusing some time on digesting why that is. And if you need to get on a personal coaching call with Britt or myself, set that up and we will work through that, because I will tell you, until you truly believe that that is possible for yourself, or that you are someone that wants a team, or that you feel like, I'm going to do this, you might feel like, I don't know, I don't have the skills maybe right now, but I am like so excited to learn and to step into that leadership role. You really want to own in on that, right? Because our mind, like Britt said, our mind is very powerful. And if in your head, you are like, I want this, I know I can do it, when you're talking to people, you're going to show up with that confidence. If in the back of your head, you have hesitation is a killer of dreams. And if you have hesitation, subconsciously, when you're having conversations with people, you're not really going to be putting out what you need to be for them to see that this is truly a really great opportunity. So, I'm not ending this call, but I'm just going to throw this out here right now before we continue, is we did this on the last call. Grab a piece of paper, grab a pen. I want you to write on there as if, think of what you want your business. And I know it's only 30 days, but you guys, magic happens in 30 days. Maybe you're like, I just would love to bring on one business partner. Maybe you're like, I would love to bring on 2 business partners. Maybe you're like, I would love to close the 3 people I'm talking to. Maybe your goal is a rank. I want you guys to envision how that would feel on the last day of April when you achieve that, and exactly what that would feel like. But I want you to write down, like, I'm so excited that I had a new business partner join me this month. I'm so thankful that I hit executive on the team building side. I'm so thankful, whatever it is. Okay. I want you guys to write it down right now. And it's something that you really have to believe in. It's something that you really have to focus on and look at that every single day. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm very vulnerable. All this stuff for 4.5 years, all this fluffy stuff, I was like, whatever. But I'm telling you now, starting to implement it myself, as well as all the reading, all the listening I've been doing, all the business stuff, not just network marketing, but business. This is what successful people do. The people that find the success, this is what they have done. And so as much as in my head, I could like block that out, at the end of the day, I'm like, this is what needs to happen. And to build a team and to step into that leadership role, you're going to get into those sticky spots sometimes. And you're going to feel uncomfortable sometimes. And that's okay. But if you believe that your end goal is possible for you, if you don't believe it's possible, don't waste your time, honestly. But if you believe it is possible, then show up, do the things, and you will get there. You might get there in 2 months. You might get there in 6 months. You might get there in 2 years. I don't know. But the point is that we really have to, yes, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, 100%. And trust me, growing a team, and there's a lot of different personalities. There's lots of different stuff. You're going to sometimes feel uncomfortable, and you're going to have to, like Claudia said on the call, like, it's a responsibility to grow a team, right? And I say to people, unless you are willing to do what it takes as a mentor or as a leader, you would be doing people a disservice bringing them onto your team if you weren't fully committed to them, right? I am fully committed to my team. I'm fully committed to growing my team and helping them, as I think most people are. But you have to do it selflessly, and you don't want, like, I don't know how to say this without sounding rude, but like, you don't want to use people and be like, I need 2 ambassadors. I'm just going to get these 2 ambassadors, if you are not committed to the business and if you aren't committed to the process. Because
if you're not committed to showing up every day.
Yes.
Every day, like, it's a commitment. So like, if you want to focus on customers, we can send you the customer call. But if you want to bring people into this business, like, I love Q Sciences. I love this company. I love this culture. I love what we stand for. We're not the typical MLM that recruits and just leaves people to figure it out on their own, And so if you're not serious about like the liability that comes along with bringing on business partners, that means you are allowing someone to put their money into this company and into your business. I want you to help them make it back and then some. And if that's not a responsibility that you can take on, then you're just not ready to grow a team yet. And that's okay. That can come later on down the road. There's other ways you can be successful here, but it's really important that you understand that like growing a team is a responsibility, like I had a very tough week mentally and physically last week, and I still showed up to calls, and I still talked to my team, and I still had, calls with the people that I had to have calls with. And, there's somebody else on this call right now. I won't call her out, but I know she's had a terrible day and she's still on here too. And I think it's really important that like, you show up for your business and you lead by example, and you realize that like, if you're a mom on this call, if you're having a bad day, you're not going to like not pick your kids up from school, like your team is your family. And so you have to make sure that you're willing to take the responsibility of like showing up and being there for them too. So
yeah, 100%. I think sometimes we forget about talking about the reality of that, right? And I think it is important to be transparent about being realistic with yourself of like, like you said, am I ready to grow a team? And if not, if you want to build your customer base, that's totally fine. But it is definitely a responsibility that you're going to have to step into. It's not just enroll people and then, watch the money fly in. Like, this is just not how it works.
And it's
right?
not sustainable. Yeah.
Does anybody have like specific questions? We'll have like, we'll work on getting some stuff ready that is, actual resources that we can share with you guys. That's why we said, yeah, this is something that like Britt and I just talked about and then we're implementing. So the soft launch means we are working on getting some resources and stuff ready for you guys. And then, but I want you guys to tell me what you're most excited in the chat. Number one, I want to hear what everyone's goals are, if you want to share them, and what you're excited about leading into April. Maybe you right now, however you're feeling, I want you to shift your head into thinking about ways that this is going to help your business. We'll buddy up, we'll pair up. We're going to be doing lives. You guys know I love my lives. We're going to be doing lives. We're going to be doing, some other kind of stuff, but, yeah. Anybody questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah. And if you want to tell us in the chat, like what you're most hoping to gain from this group, that's great too. This will be collaborative.
Yeah. We're not just going to talk the whole time. I am going to mute myself to stop myself. You're going to have to get one
business partner by the end of April. Stretch goal. One real business partner who wants it, see some success, build a brand a month. One real runner, consistent, like the month of March. Yeah. So the thing with like getting one business partner ready to work, and we're going to talk about this too, like to get to that. Am I frozen?
Nope.
Okay. Weird. Okay, there we go. To get to that point, screening is really important. It's really, really, really important that like the people you're having conversations with know what they're getting into and they jump in and they're ready to go. So we're going to talk about screening because it's a huge part. Maybe that's what we'll talk about Monday. One of the things we'll talk about next week on Monday.
And also being realistic that you guys just enrolling 2 people. It's not like you enroll 2 people and you're like, okay, I'm good. I have 2 active PAs till the end of time. I'm going to give you guys actual factual numbers. You're going to need to enroll 20 to 30 ambassadors to even start having a somewhat sustainable business. In the fact of you can enjoy, I can't remember exactly what the stats are, but if you enroll, let's say 30 people, you're going to have a percentage that do nothing, a percentage that do something, and then a small percentage that are going to want to run. And heading back to that, like Britt said, you can make that 1%. They try to, make the 1% smaller by the screening questions, and the screening questions are huge. But also, No Shame Sales Game came out today and said, a lot of people are really focused on just, I need to find my runner. I need to find someone that wants it as bad as I do. And she was saying like, if you just focus all your time on energy on finding someone that wants it as bad as you do, you're closing yourself off to someone. So she gave the example of like, you could find one really strong runner that's going to bring in, let's say 10,000 in volume, or you find 10 people that want to bring in 1,000, right? Not everybody needs to be huge runners. You want to use those screening questions. So you make sure people getting in are at least someone who, I would say, unless you're committed to getting to executive, you shouldn't even do this business. Like, why would anyone do this business just to make $50? Like, and that's not even going to cover your product. So let's just be honest.
Executive, you cover your product and then you're able to start saving some money on the side or putting it back into your business for samples or things like that. And yeah, gosh, what was it? There was one month where we had 40 new people join our team, and my business partner actually gave me those stats, and I'm drawing a blank on what exactly it is, but she had said basically like out of those 40 people, I think it was like 10 people would actually do something in the business, right? Like the statistic I think is like 50% of the people who come into your business are going to go into like witness protection. They're like not going to do a dang thing. Right. And then 30% will have like one foot in the boat and they'll do a little bit. Maybe they'll hit like builder in CV or pro on CV, but then they're like, oh, you know, this is hard, or something came up in my life, and they take their foot off the gas and they never start the car again. Right. And then you're going to have that small percentage of people who will actually be coachable and work and want this. And the people who are in that small percentage that are going to be coachable and they're going to want this, they might not want it as bad as you. They might not want to hit like silver, gold, platinum. Like that might not be their end game. They might just want to hit like elite or bronze. Like they might just want to hit executive, and they might live the community. But like having someone who's focused on at least getting to executive is really, really important. And the energy that you bring. You know, as a leader, it's really important that like when there's problems, you bring it to another leader. We don't add fuel to the fire in like team chats. Like we keep them positive. We keep people excited because there's always new people coming in, and energy is so contagious, right? People want to join a party and it fires people up. Like I get off our team calls and I'm like, I can take on the damn world right now because I feel so excited to like take on my business. Right. And it's the same thing. Like your energy is contagious. So like bring the heat, you know, bring the excitement to the team chats, to your social media. Like, don't just be like, oh, this is my greens and I got a new like business partner. So great. Like it's delicious. Like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. It's got 10 cups of like vegetables in it. And it's like my mom's juice. I need it to get me through the day. And let me tell you, I am talking to some really exciting people right now in my business. And oh my gosh, like who are you going to want to talk to? You know?
And we have a lot of exciting things leading up to. So that's another thing is like when you really are leading with your like business ownership, you don't just live for today, right? A big part of this is making a plan, having a sustainable routine for yourself, and planning in advance, right? So we know, for instance, the Canadian convention's coming up, the US convention, if you have a regional coming up near you, these are all things that we're building momentum up to because we know there's going to be something. We know Canadian convention is going to be huge. We're going to launch new products, whatever else. We know that the US convention, that'll happen again. So we think we have April, May, conventions at the end of June. You have 3 months to create all those new the new funnels. You have new connections, you know, figuring out your content strategy, 3 months, right? To make that. And then from there, you have all of July and all of August to the US one. So break your year apart right now in like leading up to Canadian convention, because then you're going to have all these people in your funnel that when all the exciting things happen at convention, people's businesses boom at convention, you're not going to be like, oh, it's convention. Oh, I need to talk to all these people. It's like, no, you have already been talking. You have like 25 people in your funnel or more than that at that point that you've been chatting with. You've already been talking with them. It's not going to be weird and like pushing yourself. Right. So that's why we really want to get you guys into momentum for April, because that's leading into the next 3 months before convention and so on, right? So planning and thinking ahead of like, you know, I got you guys to write down at the end of April, but I want you to take it one step further and write down like at Canadian convention. I know that some of you are American, okay? You guys can come over here. You can come up north, okay? There's nothing stopping you. Big first convention. Everybody should come. Canadian party, poutine, maple syrup, all the things. But it's fun. You guys come only in the summer. Anyways, I want you to write like a Canadian convention, whatever you see for yourself. If you see yourself a bronze, like I am walking across stage, getting my glass thing, or I am standing up because they're recognizing people that have achieved 2,000 customer volume, whatever it is that your goal is by convention, write that down. If you're going to the American one, write down, 6 months or however long it is from now. What do you see yourself? Are you just there as a spectator, or are you there, because your business has boomed and you have to believe it, believe it to achieve it, write it down, whatever it is, right? I'm walking across stage. I had never walked across stage 4 years in my previous business, never ever walked across the stage. And I finally got to walk across the stage.
I was so excited. I was so excited.
I know that was fun. It was good. So yeah, I want you guys to, do that. And I really do. 80% of your business is team stuff, right? And helping your team, or sorry, 20% of your business is, helping your team and do stuff like that. 80% should always be working on your own personal business, right? So that's why we're trying to help you guys create these habits now is 80% of your time should be working your own business. So let's all help each other, hold each other accountable, do the things. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I think.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was good. There was something else I wanted to say, but it's gone. So you're welcome. Man. But tomorrow we have a team call. We're going to be talking about going the funnel to the inbox, sliding in the DMs, we're going to talk about like how to pitch the business to the people you've been talking to in your funnel. So Alexi and I are going to be talking about that. We're probably going to like make Laura, put her on the spot. But I think that it's something, we talk a lot about funnels in here and about building relationships. And I know Laura and I are very similar. If I see someone's doing the business and we start chatting, like that day, I bring up their business and we're talking about it. But there's definitely some people too, where like, it takes me a little bit longer of like building a relationship, but I'm still talking about business type stuff or product type stuff. And it's not always just cute, but I'm spoiling all the surprises for tomorrow, but we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. So make sure that y'all are, on that call tomorrow because it's going to help with everything that we're doing here. Laura Corellis has her like picture up and like that smile. It's just like, I keep thinking she's smiling at me. I'm like,
I know. I keep thinking she's there too. I'm like, she's so happy right now.
So happy. She's making me feel so good. All right. On that note, it's probably time that I go tuck my kids in and go to bed, but I appreciate your time. We're really excited about what we're all going to be doing here. And yeah, that's it. It's driving me nuts that I can't think of what I needed to say, but
I guess if people after this call, if you want to be a part of the group, the running chat group that we're doing, then, I guess
in my team chat, Brit's team chat, if you're not in there, I'll check the message request and we'll add you, or Laura can, but reply to the link that I dropped and put team or like OV or CV. So I know what group you want to be in. Cause I know that some of y'all were in the customer call too. So whichever, just pick one group because you're just going to focus on one group. Just reply to it and put CV or OV. So we know what groups to put y'all in.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the easiest way.
I think, no, you know what I think we could do is if you create the chat and then we can drop the links for them and people can join either one and then we'll accept them in. Oh. That's probably easier than
I always forget that you can do a link. Yeah, that is easier.
We can do that for sure.
I'm old.
And yeah.
Not tech savvy. Okay. Well, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.